Hey y'all, this is your girl Tysheen and I'm back with another video about Europe. And this one is 50 fun and interesting facts about Europe. So, of course your girl learned a few things about Europe. I'm still learning. Okay, I don't know much about Europe. I know a few things about Europe, but not everything, if that makes sense. So we're gonna react to this one, so this should be fun. Okay.
Number 1. Moscow, Istanbul and London are the three most populated cities in Europe by urban area, with 17.7, 15.3 and 11.2 million respectively. By city limits population, however, Istanbul is the most populated, followed by Moscow and then London, with 15.3, 12.5 and 9 respectively. Number 2. The tallest building in Europe is in St. Petersburg in Russia, soaring into the sky like a glass shard. The Lakhta Center is a whopping 460 meters in height. There are 87 stories in total. For reference, it is not far off half the size of the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Number 3. English is the most spoken language on the continent, with 51% of the population being able to speak it as a first or second language. German comes in second at 32%, and then French third at 26%. Number 4. Russia is the most populated country in Europe, as more than half of Russia's population is found in its European section, around 110 million in total. However, as mentioned earlier, Russia of course spans across Europe and Asia, which is called Eurasia.
I was about to say, I might not know, because I thought Russia was in, is part of Asia, but this is where I was getting a little confused. That's why I looked like that. I was like, wait, what? Oh, alright, let's continue.
The country with the highest population that is purely in Europe, it will be Germany, at just under 84 million. Number 5. The geographical center point of Europe is a village named Pernuskes in Lithuania, located roughly 26 kilometers from its capital, Vilnius. Number 6. Europe is the second smallest continent in size, at just over 10 million kilometers squared, making it just larger than the United States, but just a third of the size of the continent of Africa. Number 7. United States, but just a third of the size of the continent of Africa. Number 7. Despite the continent being the second smallest by area, it has the third largest population, with around 748 million people. Number 8. Europe is entirely in the northern hemisphere, and most of the continent's landmass is in the eastern hemisphere. This is quite ironic, as the continent, along with America, is often referred to as the West. Number 9. North Cape is the most northern point on the European landmass. Punta de Tarifa in Spain is the most southern point, Cabo da Roco in Portugal is the most western point, and finally the most eastern point is actually undecided and is different depending on your definition of European borders. It lies somewhere in the Ural watershed. Number 10. European mammal fauna consists of 270 species, 78 of them endemic to Europe, 15% of them are threatened with extinction, and 27% have been identified as declining. Number 11. The most expensive house in Europe, and in fact the world, is Buckingham Palace, valued at just under $3 billion. It comprises of 775 rooms, 78 bathrooms, 92 offices, and 19 state
775 rooms. $78 bathrooms, which is not enough. That's definitely not enough. That's not even half of the rooms they have there. 92 offices. So how do you have 92 offices? Oh my God. 775 rooms, but you only have 78 bathrooms. People won't be fighting for those bathrooms. Well, I'm quite sure they have, I shouldn't even say that, because I'm quite sure they all have different stalls. They probably have like about, who knows? I never been inside of there, so I wouldn't even know. So I'm assuming one bathroom probably, you know what, one bathroom probably have like, I would say 6 stalls. Who knows? Maybe 6 stalls in there, or maybe it's way more than that. All right, kind of makes sense then. It makes sense.
The rooms. Number 12. At 19.5 million, London was the most visited city in Europe in 2019, pre-pandemic, making it the third most visited city in the world behind Hong Kong and Bangkok. Number 13. The 3 largest countries in Europe are Russia, Ukraine, and France. The part of Russia that is found in Europe is bigger than any other country on the continent. Number 14. The smallest country in Europe, and in fact the world, is the Vatican City. It is the smallest both by land area and population. Number 15. Norway has 83,000 kilometers of coastline, the longest coastline in Europe and the second longest in the world, only behind Canada. Number 16. There are 24 official languages in Europe, but more like 200 languages that are actually spoken around the continent. Number 17. In 2019, 7 of the top 10 most visited tourist attractions in the world were in Europe, the most visited being the Colosseum in Rome at 7.4 million visitors. Number 18. Liechtenstein, the 4th smallest country in Europe, does not have an airport. It is also a double landlocked country, meaning it's landlocked and the countries surrounding it are also landlocked. Number 19. Although Europe has just over 10% of the world's population, it is responsible for a quarter of the world's GDP, roughly 23.5 trillion US dollars. If Europe was a single country, this would mean they'd have the highest GDP in the world, placing them only slightly ahead of the United States. Number 20. Again, if Europe was a single country, it would be the 3rd most populated in the world, behind China and India. Remarkably, it would have roughly half of the population of both of these countries. Number 21. Now, this one really did take me by surprise. Kazakhstan is partially in Europe. It is a transcontinental country that sits nicely in Central Asia, but as it's so large, it stretches across to Eastern Europe, where around 10% of its population
Look at that one. Look at this.
live. Number 22. There is a rainforest in Europe. Yes, Europe's climate allows for rainforests. One of the last remaining is Perekica in Bosnia. The 3,500 acre forest is a reserve of UNESCO's World Heritage List. Number 23. 10 villages in Scandinavia have the shortest city or town names in Europe, just 1 letter long. The city name, which means small brook or river in all Scandinavian languages, is found 9 times through the countries. Number 24. There are more bicycles than people in the Netherlands. Cycling is so popular in the Netherlands that 84% of all Dutch own at least 1 bicycle. With 22.3 million bicycles in the country for 17 million residents, bike traffic and congestion is actually becoming a problem. Number 25. Monaco has the highest life expectancy.
It is. I'm trying to remember. I watched so many videos about bikes over there. I don't remember it mentioned anything about being a problem. Maybe because it's too much. Well, I did see a few videos where they parked their bikes and it was a lot. Sometimes people can't even find their bikes. They says it's too much. So I mean, it's better than having cars. Can you imagine if they had a lot of cars there? I'd rather the bike. Maybe because there's a lot of people moving there. That could be that too. Maybe the population.
Not just in Europe, but the entire world. Maybe it's because of Monaco's beautiful sun-drenched location along the French Riviera.
I don't know, because I make so much of these type of videos. I had a dream. This was like months ago. I didn't mention it. This was months ago. I had a dream that I was in, I don't know if it was Netherlands or Denmark, one of those places. I'm not sure. I don't know. But this picture reminded me of the dream that I had. I was sitting on the grass with some people. I don't know them, but they were my friends. And we were just sitting there, just chilling. It was a nice sunny day. And this is what I was looking at across in front of me in the grass. Like the houses like that with the boats. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel so happy. I was there and I was having a good time. And then, I don't know, then I woke up. And then I realized I was just dreaming.
Maybe it's because of the popularity of the Mediterranean diet, found to be one of the healthiest in the world. In any case, the people of Monaco live on average to be 89.4 years, the highest not just in Europe but the entire world. Number 26. Now, which company do you think has the highest value in Europe? It must be one of Germany's car companies like Volkswagen, right? Nope, it's LVMH, or Louis Vuitton as it's more commonly known. It is the most valuable company on the continent, at a market cap of around $350 billion US. LVMH controls around 60 subsidiaries that each manage a small number of prestigious brands. Number 27. Now, Europe isn't really known for its tall skyscrapers. It is more of a continent filled with ruins and castles.
I love that.
The city in Europe with the most skyscrapers.
See, I don't like this. This is what I don't like. It's too big. It's too high. I don't
belongs
like it.
to Moscow at 65, placing them 29th highest in the world. Number 28. Heathrow Airport in London is the busiest airport on the continent. Pre-pandemic in 2019, nearly 81 million passengers passed through. However, Heathrow was dethroned in 2020 and 2021 by Istanbul Airport, which actually opened in 2019. Number 29. Iceland is the least densely populated country in Europe, at just 3 people per kilometre squared. However, the majority of the country live in its capital, Reykjavik, which has a population density of 480 people per kilometre squared. Number 30. According to Visual Capitalist's estimations, London is the city with the highest GDP in Europe, at around $1 trillion US, placing them 5th in the world and just above Paris. Number 31. Europe is home to the deadliest and longest war in recorded history. World War II at around 80 million deaths, and Reconquista at around 781 years. The Reconquista was a period in the history of the Iberian Peninsula of about 780 years of war between Spanish Christians and Muslims. Number 32. On the 11th of August 2021, Sicily in Italy recorded the highest ever temperature in Europe at 48.8 degrees Celsius, or 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 33. And on the other end of the spectrum, the lowest temperature ever recorded in Europe was minus 58.1 degrees Celsius, or minus 72.6 degrees Fahrenheit, in Russia. Number 34. According to the Economist Intelligent Unit ranking, Zurich is the most livable city in Europe and the 7th most livable in the world. Number 35. At around 75% in 2021, Norway is the country with the highest share of plug-in electric car sales in Europe. For reference, Iceland comes in second.
Whoa. Whoa, look at this. Netherlands. Germany. Well, of course, it's gonna... I don't think they care for all that.
Second at 45%. Wow. Number 36. Just one of the world's 7 wonders of the world is found in Europe, the Colosseum, located in Rome, Italy. Likewise, just one of the world's 7 natural wonders is also located in Europe. And technically, it isn't even Europe, it's in space. It is the Northern Lights, or the Aurora Borealis. Number 37. The richest country on the continent when measuring GDP or economy size goes to Germany at around 4.2 trillion US, placing them 4th in the world. Number 38. When it comes to GDP per capita, however, Liechtenstein is the richest in Europe and in fact the world. In 2020, the United Nations estimated this value to be around 180,000 US. Number 39. The country with the most Nobel Prizes in Europe belongs to the UK at 138. It must be noted, however, that Frederick Sanger received this prestigious award twice for his work in chemistry. Number 40. The top 3 countries in the world with the most islands are all in Europe, and they are all in fact Nordic countries and neighbours. This is Sweden, Norway and Finland. They have 268,000, 239,000 and 179,000 islands each, respectively. Number 41. At 136, Germany has the most billionaires in Europe. Per 2 million people, there are roughly 3 billionaires. To To put this in perspective, the US is the country with the most billionaires at 724 and 3.9 billionaires per 2 million people. Number 42. Germany not only excels in wealth, it plays pretty good football too, or soccer depending on where you're from. With a total of 4 World Cup wins, the German have the equal most World Cup trophies in Europe, tying with Italy. However, Germany have 4 runners-up medals compared to Italy's 2. Number 43. Excluding Russia, Germany is the highest CO2 emitting in Europe. Its CO2 emissions are estimated to be around 800 million tons, making them the 6th highest emitter in the world. For reference, the UK is the 17th.
I love the UK, but what is up with y'all water? I seen another video with the water and I thought it was the video. I thought the video, you know, doing something with the color, but why is y'all water brown? Is it me? Is it me? Maybe I'm seeing something different, or maybe it's my video. Maybe I need to fix the color, cause I'm seeing brown water.
Highest emitter at around 370 million tons, so more than half. Number 44. At 3,790 kilometers, the Volga River is the longest river and the 16th longest in the world. Situated in Russia, it flows through central Russia to southern Russia and into the Caspian Sea. Number 45. Camp Nou, Barcelona FC's football or soccer stadium, is the highest capacity stadium in Europe at just under 100,000. Although this stadium is unbelievably huge and impressive, it still does not feature in the top 10 in the world. Number 46. Germans sure do love a museum. At 6,741, Germany has by far the most museums in Europe, the second most in the world, only to the US, who have a mind-boggling 33,000. Number 47. At around 34%.
We do have a lot of museums. A lot. Everywhere you go, you're gonna find a museum. I don't live too far from the museum. Museums everywhere, everywhere. Could be small, big. Yeah, you're gonna find a lot here.
Just beats Samsung at being the smartphone vendor with the highest market share across the European continent. The UK is the country with the highest market share of Apple users at 53%. Number 48. The euro is the official currency of 19 of the 27 member states of the European Union. It is classed as the second most important currency in the world, only behind the US dollar. Number 49. Spread across 52 acres and located in Poland, Malbork Castle is the largest castle in Europe and, of course, the world. It is also considered the largest brick structure ever built with human hands. And finally, number 50. Bulgaria is the oldest country in Europe and the only country that has not changed its name since it was...
Look at this! Look at this, y'all. Look at that.
First established. Kosovo, on the other hand, is the youngest country in Europe. While Serbia and a handful of other countries such as Russia and China do not recognize Kosovo's independence, the International Court of Justice ruled that Kosovo is a sovereign nation in 2010. So there we have it, 50 fun facts about Europe. Did any of these catch you out or take you by surprise? Let us know in the comments below.
Whoa! Now remind you, I'm not going to remember half of this stuff. I'm just going to keep it real with you. Oh man, it's like one of those videos you have to go back and watch it again. Whoa, I ain't gonna lie, half of the stuff when he was saying, I'm just focused on the structure of the castles and the details and everything about it. Like, I could be in school and they showing a picture of a building or whatever. I'm just like so stuck. I'm not even hearing what the person is saying because I'm like, I love art. I love to see like old buildings, how the way they used to make it, the details, the architecture, everything. It's everything. But Netherlands, what's going on with your bike problem? I didn't even know you had bike problems over there. I'm surprised. I gotta see more videos about that. I didn't know. But anyway, comment below, let me know if you're from any of these countries. Do you agree with it? The stuff that he was saying? Is there anything else you would like to add? Okay, I'll read the comments, so let me know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, so go down there and subscribe. Go down there and subscribe. And make sure you check these videos that I have, and I'll see you lovely people. Take care.